Hello, you alls. I don't think I got anybody in there yet. I'll hold up. There's Doc. Hey, Doc. So, Doc. Hey, Brett. Hey, what's up, Pat? We're going to give it just a little bit before I start talking about the damn 550 so that everybody can get here, you know. Hello, Red. Hello, Eric. Hello, Josh. Darren. Yes, it is a screaming demon. Right there it is. Oh. Pretty damn slick, huh? I know there's about 100 guys out there going, damn it, why didn't I think to polish the cases? You know what got me to do it was well, you know, I had thought about doing it for a long time with my my Poland 3750 bad boy thing. I was like, yeah, wouldn't it be cool to if I could chrome the cases? And then I thought, well, I could polish the cases, and I didn't know if you could polish magnesium. And so I was like, well, how am I going to figure this out? Well, pretty simple. I had an old 550 Mark I case, and I messed around with it right there, and I was like, oh yeah, I can totally do that. So I went ahead and I was just like, swing for the fences, Bodie. You know, just ding. So chair's all squeaky, isn't it? So I did 2 more videos with it today. What's up, Dave? Tutela. There you go. That's the guy's name. That guy makes some. I get it. A lot of people don't appreciate a really pretty saw, you know, but I do. And that guy makes some gorgeous chainsaws. It's no different than having a gorgeous muscle car or Ferrari or a cool motorcycle. This is just, you can pick it up real easy, you know. So anyways, what was I saying? Oh, so I did 2 more videos on it today. That video that you just watched was, I believe I did that on Thursday, either Wednesday or Thursday. And then today I ran it for a second and third time. And so what I'm learning every time I run it, I've got to push harder. I think that's what's going on, because I think that for one, it bounces off the rev limiter if I just let it eat, even at my normal push, which it's light, but on nearly everything else, it doesn't bounce off the rev limiter, you know. Hell, even the 60cc saws weren't bouncing off the rev limiter, but they're wearing a 3/8 chain. So, you know, this little 325 chain, if I'm not pushing pretty good, it's just bouncing off the rev limiter. And I didn't know what was going on. I thought it wasn't tuning itself in. And but anyways, finally, obviously, I figured it out. Oh my God, it's bouncing off the rev limiter. So I have to learn to push harder. And so even though, yeah, I'm pushing hard enough to get it to stop bouncing off the rev limiter, I haven't done enough testing yet to know if it's faster the harder I push. I got to find the balance. That's all I'm saying. It's really difficult especially whenever I'm putting it up, like I put it up against the Red Max today and the Craftsman 3.3 XP, both excellent gas race saws. I mean, I don't know if either one of them produce six horsepower or not, but they're good. Like if anybody was running them, they'd be like, wow. Anyways, but I won't tell you which saw or saws won, but I do know something is going on with this thing, and I've got to learn. Do I put an 8-pin sprocket on it? Do I put a 9-pin sprocket on it? Would it actually be faster with a 3/8 chain? There's a lot going on. Hey, what's up, Kevin? So I got to figure it out. I got to figure out the setup of this saw and what it likes and how I should go about running it. Honestly, do I need to run it with a chain that I've taken the breakers down on it? Because I'm getting some like kind of conflicting results. And I will go ahead and tell you, I put a 28-inch bar on it, and I put it in white oak and in pine, a big, ripping cut with pine. And it's got really great power for a 50cc saw. I'm extremely happy about it. Again, a big thank you to my buddy who's been helping me out with it. I mean, if I would have ever gotten here without you, it would have been 2 years in the future with constant testing. And both the Red Max and this thing run immediately. I mean, just run completely great compared to what I would have been doing to these saws before. I mean, you can see, I ported the 545, Husqvarna 545 Mark I, and got really limited results from that. And just wasn't understanding it at all. The 5 series are a completely different bird. And I want to throw this out there for a lot of my buddies, my friends, okay? This is not a mean thing. Pat, John Bob, Aaron, this is not a mean thing. This is a good thing. You're building great saws, but I think you're missing the fun. And you're missing the fun for the higher exhaust roof. Give it a shot, if you haven't already. You probably already have. But I know with this thing right here, the 5 series, or at least the 550 and the 560, I know they like a pop-up, and they like that pop-up because of the way the transfers feed in and the piston window being shut off by the piston itself. And so normally I think I probably would have built this thing with a 105 roof. It's got a 100 roof, and you can dig that thing in. I dug it in with a 28-inch bar. I mean, I was digging, I was laying on it. So I guess I'll just put it this way. I feel like you're missing out on some fun, and it takes a lot. I was so scared to raise the roof the first time whenever I started doing it. And on certain saws, you can't even do it, because I'm learning hard lessons with the Echo 590 and the 620, and yeah, they cut good and everything, but there's something that's just missing. And that's because they can't build the compression, because you can't properly machine that cylinder on a 590 and a 620, because you'll get free porting at the bottom of the piston. So everything has to be taken with a grain of salt. All I'm saying is it's fun. It's fun to build a saw that you have to push on it to keep it off of the rev limiter. My shit wasn't doing that before. It just wasn't doing it before. I started going up on the high exhaust with high exhaust, and it's like, it's just wanting to carry its power at such a higher RPM range, and it just never did that before, and I'm having a blast doing it. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, I get you, Kevin. I mean, but it takes a lot to do it. It really takes a lot to do it because it's scary. But with this saw right here, like you saw me drilling holes in those transfers, that was to get the marine text to stick, and I was like, I'm looking at that and I'm going, oh my god, am I really going to drill holes in this brand new cylinder? And I was like, fuck it, I mean, you got to be willing to just fuck shit up, because hey, now one thing I like on a little 50cc saw, I've never went to like 96 and stuff, but I know I've ran some that are running 96 on the exhaust and they're just blazing and they've got plenty of torque too. It's all like potato and stuff, but you can't get them to scream like that. In my experience, okay, maybe some can. You can't get them to scream like that unless you start raising that roof. And I was amazed by the torque that it had. Brett, I think you asked me, yeah, 28-inch with a 3.8. No, it was a 3.25. And you'll wait till you see the video. I'm like, I think honestly it would do better with a 3.8 because it couldn't expel the chips fast enough. Whenever I was doing the ripping cut or the noodling cut, I was throwing out pine noodles that fast from a 106 drive link chain, and it just stuffed. I mean, it's a 50cc saw. It's not supposed to have to deal with chips like that, and it just stuffed it, and that became a real problem. And then whenever I went over to the big white oak and I put it in that, I shit you not, man. The little 325 just couldn't take a bite of it, and I was pushing on it trying to get it to go, and the white oak was so damn hard, I just couldn't get it to do it. But I think that truly it would have done better with the 3.8s, and I know that it would have done better with the 3.8 skip. But the 325 just had so many damn teeth on it. And so you got to figure it. I am guessing that probably it's somewhere in the realm of 6 horsepower. Okay, it's just a guess. But if you look at those numbers, that's numbers like a decent 70cc saw stock. So, and in the 28-inch bar video, I make the claims that I think that would hang right with a 372X torque in any situation. The only thing that's going to limit this is the oiler. What else we got? I know, Kevin, you just got to change the sprocket tip. I don't want to change the sprocket. I know I could change the sprocket tip, but I like having that bar set up with a 325. I've already got this nice setup so that I can do groundwork. I mentioned it in the video, but yeah, I think I might have to change the sprocket tip to put a full 3/8 and see if it'll pull it better. You have to take a 3/8. Brett says he doesn't even know they made a 325 28-inch. You have to take a 3/8 28-inch and change the sprocket tip. That's what you were saying, Kevin. You were saying it to him, not to me. I hope you guys are laughing with me and not thinking I'm an asshole. Any other questions? Okay, Super Dave. Exhaust height, combustion chamber, and compression is like having three-way 2 3s don't make a 6. Yeah, it has to, man. But this all right here, I mean, the guy that I'm working with, he does this for his work saws, and I wouldn't hesitate to work that one bit. But I get what you're saying. I think I do anyways. Yeah, Brett, man. I learned I guess it's been about 15 years ago now. No shit, 17 years ago. God, I'm old. I was 30 years old and I took a job as a industrial mechanic and electrician. And when part of that getting hired, they were like, "Do you have your own tools?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I've got like every tool you can imagine." Well, I was wrong. I took that job and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I was seeing people who had $16,000 tool boxes, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" I don't, you know. And so, anyways, that job right there taught me a lot of shit. And one of the biggest things that it taught me is you can modify anything to do almost anything. It's just about how much time and money you want to spend on it, you know? Um, so, yeah, if you want a 325 48-inch bar, I can make that happen, you know? Just cost money. Just cost money. And the quicker, or either time or money. If you can do it yourself, it just costs you time, you know? But most things cost time and money, you know? But so in the upcoming race between the Red Max and the Craftsman with this thing, I was extremely proud of all three saws. And if I took any of those saws to any kind of race or just event to show off or anything like that, anything, um, I'm the part that's going to fail, not the saws. They all run really, really great. I'm really happy with all of them, and yeah. So, but yeah, I'm the missing link, I guess. You know, Grant said that to me. He's like, nothing wrong with your saw. You just got to work on your chains, and you need to get better. You need to practice, and he's 100% right. What's up, Todd? So, anyways, yeah, you guys got any questions? You want to know what's up next? Gotta ask. I don't even know what's up next. Yeah, I'm definitely going to run this at Sawfest. There's no questioning it. Thank you very much, Outdoorsman. You want to see a new toy I got? Let me reach up here and get it. Oh, it's way up there. Oof. So, I need this about like I need a hole in my head. But whenever you see it and you get the opportunity at a good price, you got to take it. You got to take it. So it's not too difficult to find a 405 or the equivalent Pioneer, but it is kind of difficult to find the Plus. And I like my Polands, so I definitely wanted it to be a Poland. So I got me a 4-cube horizontal saw to mess with in the future if I want to, you know. I know I need to do a head saw, Garrett, man. I know, but that stuff's hard. That stuff's hard. But back to this. There is a problem. It has two problems that I want to say I'm a little pissed about, but I'm not. Whatever, I'll get over it. One thing, these things were known, the gas caps would swell like a mother. I mean, bad. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to literally put it on the lathe, and at first I'll just trim some off of the threads so that they're shorter and don't go as deep, then I might try and actually thread it a little bit more to get it a looser fit. Because whenever you put that all the way down on there, I don't care whose man hands you got, you ain't getting it off. You got to use, some pair of channel locks. But the other thing that was really big and bad for these things was, you can see a little bit of that. There's a seal. There's a little partition wall right there. And that little partition wall, the sealing on it will actually come loose. And so the only way to fix it right is to actually split the cases and get in there and fix it right. But a lot of people just try and do moto seal, and it never works for long, and that's what somebody did here. And like I said, I want to say I'm a little pissed about it, but I'm not pissed. The guy that I got it from, he didn't know. He's like, I just put gas in it and fired it up, and I got a good deal. So it's all good. But yeah, if there's ever an event, it really sucks. Sawfest having a vintage class and it has to be 85 or older. This is in 1986. Damn it. I've got two of these old Pioneer Polands, and both of them were made after 1985. That's killing me because, if there's anything vintage, it's one of these. But I get it. They have rules. They have to make their cutoff at some place. It just sucks for me, Fergal, it's not that heavy. Yeah, it's heavier than a modern saw, sure, but it's not that bad, But these are 65 cc's. They have the boost port, they're reed fed, and I'll actually play with this one. My big 655, that thing's big. It's really big. This one right here, I can see myself actually porting it up and actually taking it out and playing with it and cutting some firewood and stuff like that. That big one, nah, it's just too big. What else we got? The ported 592. Hey Ben, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I think that in the future I will do that because. So I planning on making a dyno, and in order to do that, I got to raise funds. I've been working my way towards all this stuff. You guys will see, my goal is to get it done by November, and fingers crossed. But one of the things that might be a really easy way to get $1,500 is to port my 592, do a fantastic job on it, because it's a brand new saw. My 592, 8 tanks ran through it. I don't know, maybe 10. And then if I poured it on top of that, I think I can get $1,500 for it, because you go buy one unported and there's going to be $1,500. Maybe I can get a little bit more than that for it. And honestly, maybe I should. I'd have to look and see what they're going for at retail. But yeah. My 592, I started thinking about that, and it's like, you know what? I never used that thing, and now I've got Blue Thunder, which is the 395 XP that the 395 XP that Richard Flagg built up for me. So if I have something I need a big saw for, I got that, and not to mention. I got Bobby Boucher. Bobby Boucher's 80 cc's. If I need to cut a big tree, I can work that thing, So see what I'm saying? So there's no real need for the 592 at all. Honestly, there never was. I just wanted it. So if I ported that thing up, turned around and sold it, that would go a long ways towards funding the dyno. And yeah. 592 is 1510 with a 28-inch bar. So without the 28-inch bar, it's still going to be $1,400. Close to that. So let's say if I did, say, $1,600 for a ported 592, I think I would have no problem selling that. 1250, huh? Thank you, Justin. Thank you. I hope you saw the video of it. You're a little late to the game, man. Yeah. Joe, how many chainsaws do I need? The answer is always the same. Just one more. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, guys. Yeah, everybody give a thumbs up if you would, please. There's 26 of you on there, and there's only 14 thumbs up. So I know there's at least 12 of you motherfuckers that haven't given me a thumbs up. Yes, I curse. Anyways, I'm excited to play with this. I already fired it up. It does fire up and runs. I just fired it up in the garage, but it seems to run really nice. And that should be a fun little saw. It is pretty big. Let me put it up. Another saw that I'm going to be selling. You ain't going to believe this. This is going to be my Red Max 2165. Because remember the one that I thought was stolen? And it very well could still be stolen. It's that one right there. But only one person contacted me about that. One person, and it didn't match up the description or anything. So I did my part trying to find the person that possibly had it stolen from. But I guess there are a handful of saws out there that a dealer gets in, and whenever they are told to throw it in the trash, they remove that ID tag or the serial tag or whatever you want to call it. And then they take it and sell it. It's not stolen. But seeing how I tried to find the possible owner that may have been stolen from, and I got it was no dice, I couldn't find anybody. I've done my part. And so I'm going to keep on calling that saw right there stolen. And I'm going to call it hotness. So you see what I'm saying? I'm gonna sell my 2165 right there, and that's ready to go. That's a freaking awesome running saw. I will sell that, and then I will build up that one to take its place. See how that goes. Sting Cool. That's a cool freaking tag name or tagline or whatever. Clutch. Sting Cool. If it's running and it's not spinning the chain, is it bogging like? If it's doing that, then maybe your brake is still on, or the chain is too fat for the groove. There could be any number of things. But if it's just and it's not spinning that chain, clutch. John Bob, how you doing, brother? How's the leg? I saw that you got an air cast. Yes, I see. I just don't comment on a lot of things. I just don't. The raffle is definitely going to take place. I had the last you heard on this. Right? Nope, that's not it. This. Ow. My elbow's a lot better, but it's still not perfect. So this is the 266 XP or SE. I can't remember what it was. I got it to this level, and I went to put the flywheel on there, and the flywheel didn't work. Well, turns out aftermarket flywheels are all for the modern 2 Series cases. They don't make an aftermarket flywheel to match up with the old, I'm not flywheel, crankshaft. They don't make an aftermarket crankshaft that matches the OEM old flywheel. And so, long stories with all of that stuff. I don't know, man, about the subtitles. I don't think you get them in a live feed. So, anyways, so this right here, I got it all here. I got that brand new crank in these brand new crank cases, and I can't get a flywheel on. Now I can get a modern flywheel and it'll go right on there, but then it doesn't line up with the coil. So back and forth, all this stuff. And I was like, fuck. So I went ahead and I purchased this off of eBay. So I will transfer everything onto this. It has a good crankshaft and bearings and everything. But that will be the first waffle saw. And then David sent this in to me to build. This is a 66. All right. It's made in Yugoslavia. It's a really clean, I mean, honestly, it's a clean unit. I just need to clean it up. And this thing might run in the condition that it's in, maybe. But that one right there, well, it might be a raffle. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. It's actually hard to mess around with this stuff. John Bob's still not allowed to walk. Hey, well, can you sit your ass down in front of your Symington? Only those who have met me can know that I can talk like that. And I'm not an asshole. I'm a nice guy, honestly. You know, I've ran some 266s whenever I went to Tazapalooza. I ran some there and everything. They're nice saws, but I have never ported one, never done any work on them myself, except for that one there that I messed with now. I did a no machine work port job, and we're going to see how it turns out. Because one thing I do know is those things, whenever you pump them up with a lot of compression, they're hard to start. And I don't know if I'm dying to get into that situation again. Oh, you can't even get to your basement. You can get you one of those electric chairs, buddy. Thanks, John Bob. Tuck and roll. Let's see. Hey, Jonathan Cox. Jonathan Cox, man, I have got something for you. This was supposed to go to you for winning the wild thing stuff. It's got the scroll in it and everything. Send me an email and give me your address, or just wait until Sawfest this year and I'll hand it to you then, or to the next winner, because that's where it's supposed to go. But anyways, I held on to it. Whatever. Aaron, what's up? Aaron, you liking your shirt? Check out this one. Oh, I got a new one coming. I just talked with my guy today. So I don't want to give it away, but why not? So I'm going to be removed, and literally the Cookie Monster will be in there cutting cookies, and it's going to say me loves to cut cookies. So yeah, you'll be able to get that shirt. I like these. These are that material that's supposed to be wicking. I'm on the fence. Do I like them better than cotton or not? I'm on the fence, but I definitely like the way this part looks. I like the overall look, especially with the Johnson Red one that's black and white. And you got the red on there and stuff. I like it. So all right. So what else we got going on, guys? I don't know what I'm going to work on. Usually I work 7 days a week on something. Usually, but every now and then I try and take like I take really slow days or something like that. But I don't know what I'm going to work on next. But I do know that in that box down there is Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and I have modified the carburetor, and I might be able to run on Nitro. I actually ordered some Nitro. Let me show you. So my knowledge on this stuff is pretty limited. So if I get things wrong, just let me know. But like the main, is it the main one? I don't know. One of the good brands is Red Max. No, not associated at all with the Japanese chainsaw brands. Where are they? Oh, they're way up there. But it's Red Max Performance, and I believe they have shut down their website completely. It was owned and operated by a couple dudes in North or South Carolina. One, I'm not sure, but like I said, they quit running their website and just shut down. And it's like, oh, I can't get this stuff anymore. Well, at least one of the guys is still producing it and selling it on eBay. So, and I contacted him because I got 20%. And then I saw that he offered it in 30%. And this might be a real rookie mistake of me. I should have went with 10% probably. But I contacted him. I was like, I see you got 30%. I'm running in a chainsaw and I want to cancel that order and get 30% instead. And he's like, okay, no problem. And then he went ahead and he says, if you're running in a chainsaw, usually the mix is this, this, and this, and this, and this. And so I can mix that up for you, no problem. So from my understanding, running it in a chainsaw is different formula than running it in, say, an RC plane or an RC car, because that's what this stuff is primarily used for. That's primarily the market. And there's getting to be less and less suppliers of this type of stuff because electric is taking over. If you guys haven't figured out that that's going to happen, you just need to, I mean, you don't have to like it, but you need to understand it. And you go, yeah, okay, yeah, they're not there yet. They're not there yet, but they will be. They will be. That's the way that they're wanting to push. So let's see. Let's read some. So, anyways, I got the carburetor for the Holtzforma 366 clone, all modified up, and the very next step is to dump this in there and see if it runs. My guess is I'm going to have a problem with the needle seat making a good seal and stuff. Because I mean, there's just no way it can be easy for me and terribly hard for everybody else. It's probably going to suck, and that's why I'm putting it off. But maybe I'll get to that and continue on with it next week. Let's see. Any plans for cutting more cans and doing the Woodsman whack off? Okay, cans. Honestly, no. That's really hard to do. The actual proper Woodsman whack offs. The way that I have been doing it is a lot easier for me to do. And for the events, like I really liked having the Husqvarna 55 event. I got a big cant ready and I went out and did it all in one go. But what happens is whenever I get that cant set up, and I test 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 saws in that cant. And then I don't test again for even 2 weeks, but, sometimes 2 months. That wood is different. And I had to learn that the hard way. And I gotta be honest, steel chainsaws always took the harder hit because I don't own many of them, and I rarely get them in my hands, and so especially back then. And so, like, I was getting a steel saw and going out to this cant that had been dried out for 2 months and getting a horrible time going through the cut. And I was like, "What the hell? This steel is a piece of shit." I can look back on it now. I was ignorant, and that wood had gotten really, really, really hard. So it's really difficult to keep up on it like that. If I do it all in one day with a big event, then it works. But I can only do that a couple times a year. It's looking like 28,000 RPMs. I'm gonna have to call bullshit on that one. I didn't know Klotz actually made nitro fuel. I know they make phenol, which is oftentimes used to put to mix with your fuels, your race fuels. Yeah, yeah, Jonathan, you got to clarify, buddy. 28,000 RPMs. My tack is only rated to even go up to 20,000 RPM. So, uh, the 2100, there we go. What's your name? Ryan, right? Ryan? The 2100, no, no updates on it. I actually have to revert that thing back to a different cylinder so that I can build it to run without a pipe and all that stuff. The cylinder that's on my 2100, I literally was building that knowing that I was going to put a pipe on it and all that stuff. But now for Sawfest, the vintage class, that's the only vintage saw, that's made pre 1985 that I own that would stand a chance of doing even decent. And so I've got to go ahead and port a different cylinder for that saw for Sawfest because I can't run a pipe on it. Got to have just a regular muffler, and honestly, the thing never did run very good. It's a turd for what it is. So I'm just learning with that stuff. Nitro current. I guess you can call it anything you want, buddy. But you're right. The uh, electric saws, modifying them is not going to be nearly as cool, I'll say, as this kind of stuff because it's just going to be about, you know, make the circuitry thicker, bigger, capable to carry more current, make the wires thicker, bigger, capable of carrying more current, and then give it more amperage. And bam, there's your electric saw performance modified and stuff. And it's just not as cool. Honestly, I'm not looking forward to it either, guys. But that Greenworks supposed to put out the power of a 70cc saw. I think that's hitting the market next month, you know, and I'm eager to try it out. I really want to try it out. And I got a dealer here locally that carries them. I'm going to try and get them to let me do an actual test of it and stuff. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yes, the levitating chain is crazy to see. And You don't see it usually unless you got like super slow motion. The chains are moving so fast, man, and they're cutting so fast. My eyes can't keep up. Uh, mm, Mr. Hanger One, I forget your Kevin. You Kevin. You're asking about the 550 with a standard carb. Yes, you can do it. Absolutely. But the coil still has a rev limit. And the 550 that I just built is bouncing off of the rev limiter if I'm not pushing it into the wood. So what's the point? Right? The what you need to do to modify the 550s to get to work proper, right? As a proper, like to take them to the next level race saw, you need to fix the coil. The coil is the problem. The carburetor is an easy fix. Any monkey can figure that one out, you know. But the coil is what the limiting factor is. That 550, the darkness, the one this is all about. I swear to God, that thing is just dying to go past 13,500 RPMs. It wants so bad to go to 15 or 16,000 RPMs, but it can't because of the coil. So I've never had a saw that uh, just wanted to just live on the rev limiter unless you're pushing, and it does. It totally does. You know, the biggest Zenoa clone. If you're talking about the one that the for the race that I am going to be setting up for this coming March, right, is that Pro Yama. Pro Yama. Ah, 6800. There it is. The PCS 6800. Um, it's 62 cc's. It's like it's legit over 60 cc's. So, but if you're asking for the biggest Zenoa clone, it's a clone of the one right next to it. Right there. That is a Red Max Zenoa 621, and you can get that same thing as a John Cutter. It's the same saw, but they went ahead and they put this huge piston in it. I don't know if they stroked it or not, but it's like 75. It's a full 75 cc's, and Dubs has one, and I think that he would probably agree. Don't waste your money. No, see, you're late, Jeff. Jeff just asked, does your big Pioneer work for the vintage class? No, it doesn't. It was made in 1986, and their cutoff, there's maybe it was 1988, but their cutoff was 1985. It's like fuck. So because I wanted to run that. That is what I want to run. Even if my Husqvarna 2100 is capable of being so much faster, I don't care. I want to run. I want to build and run my Poland 655 in the vintage class, and I can't do it because it's like a 1988 model, and they require 1985. And it's like, fuck. I want that so bad. But you missed it, Jeff. I actually got another one of those. Ooh, whoa, Pioneer. It's a Poland, but it's the 405 Plus, which is a 65 cc with a boost port. Eric Chimlarski. All right. You got a great question, buddy. How the hell can a faller use an electric power saw? Right now in 2024, we don't know. But you think they're not going to figure it out by 2020? 2034, you know, they're going to figure it out. I mean, if you went back to 1950 and you said, this is a computer that's more powerful than anything on the planet, they would laugh at you and they would say, you're an idiot. Look at this guy, put him in the insane asylum. And you'd have all this wonderful futuristic knowledge that you want to share with people, and they won't even hear you because they can't even grasp the technology of the future. And that's the way I feel like we are right now with battery powered saws. If you think that in 15 years the battery powered saws are going to be the same configuration, the same battery and everything that they are right now, you're freaking naive as hell. They're going to be completely different. I said in one video, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. There's some little kid who's probably 5 years old right now, and whenever he turns 18, he's a super genius, or she, and somebody's like, hey man, we got a real problem with cutting down these trees. And he's like, what's the problem? And they just design something to cut down the trees, and he's going to come up with a lightsaber and he's going to go zero and cut down the tree. The future and the technology that's out there currently it blows your mind. Whenever I learned that literally the problems with lithium ion batteries are being fixed by a virus being used to connect the two batteries cells together, I'm like, I don't even get that. But they're trying to push for a virus to be used. Weird. I don't understand it. I'm not saying that I do, but I do understand enough to know that, like, we have no idea what the future holds. Look at what this has done to our planet. Look at what this has done to our entire society. This has caused real problems. Our children can't think on their own. They can't. Anyways, enough about that bullshit. I've seen 550s with unlimited coils as well, and they're not giving up their secrets. They don't tell me. Oh, I guess, Dwayne, you like Domar. All right. Oh, Elon Musk. If that guy wasn't such a fucking douchebag, I'd be all on board. You know what? He's just like every other rich asshole. Whenever they first start out, they're all right. They're just a little bit different, but they're all right. But then they keep going and they get more and more crazy. And then you get like, oh my God, you have lost your fucking mind, dude. Same thing happened with Michael Jackson. It almost happened with Prince. I talk about weird shit, don't I? All right, so Life Behind the Axe is asking me about ideas for hosting, having a competition or get together. You know, whenever I first started this whole YouTube thing, I thought it was going to take off a lot faster than it has, and I thought that by now I'd be making $20,000 a month and all this stuff. Talk about naive, yeah. Well, I've got all kinds of thoughts of putting a get together, right? And honestly, I mean, I don't know, call me a pervert, call me whatever you want. I don't care. But I want to have an event, and you know, all the people that are doing all the little things are hot chicks in bikinis. That's what I want. And honestly, it's not so much for me as it is for, I know that people click on hot chicks in videos. That's just the way it is. We almost can't stop ourselves. I got to click on that. She's in yoga pants. And, you know, I just want as many clicks as possible. So if I ever get to a level where I'm making big money, there's two things that I think separate a good show from a not so good show. One is audience participation. And what I mean by that is just, people to enjoy. I'm not saying they have to get up and cut cookies or swing an axe or anything like that, but you got to have a reason for that audience to be there. I just recently went to the one in Chardon, right? And the one in Michigan. There was one up there, Tip Up. And both of those things were very successful because they tied to an event that was already set up and they had people come out, right? That makes a big difference. Do you think that, in Chardon, we would have had anybody watching us in the stands if there wasn't a fair going on? No, you got to have, and the bigger the event that you can tie it to, the better your show. All right. And the number two thing is money, prize money. I, I don't know what these other shows are offering and stuff, but I know that it's probably not far off from the $400 first place prize that I was offering at my little horizontal hustle. These places, a lot of people are so anti charging ticket prices. And for the life of me, I can't understand why. Even if it's just $2, if it's $2 and you get 100 people show up, you know, that's $200 to go into the kitty. So I like money, and I like to tie into any kind of event that might be going on around in order to get people available. So just right off the top of my head, that's all I can come up with. Yeah, I'm not any weirder than the rest of you. I just vocalize it. Hot chicks and hot sauce, yeah, it just works. People want to see that, dudes, anyways. Yo, Dwayne, you just bought a Dolmar. I'm getting it now. I'm getting it. Dolmars are great. I won't say that they're my thing. You know, I mean, there's it's undeniable the quality. They're freaking nice. However, I don't know, like the Solo, same basic chainsaw. I would so much rather have one Solo than 10 Dolmars. All right. That's about it. It's been going on for almost an hour, guys. And I rattled away. Thanks for hanging in there. There's still two people that haven't given a thumbs up. I'm getting off of here. I hope you guys enjoy all the videos and all that stuff. Hold on, I'm seeing stuff here. Yes, Doug, you're right. Dolmar is Honda, Solo is Acura. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Chevy GMC, Ford Lincoln. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Talk to you later. See ya.